It's time to bring unity and love in doing our part to break down the barriers that divide us. It's time for Unshaken with Becca V. Get ready to hear positive news stories and enlightening interviews, plus music from underground recording artists around your community and the world who are making a positive impact on society. Now, here's the host of Unshaken, Becca V.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. It means so much to me that you would listen. There are so many amazing artists out there, and God's doing such a great thing through so many people. And, that's what I want to do is just get it out there, get the music out there, and get the goodness of God out there and get testimonies of his goodness and everything he's doing around the world. So thank you so much for being a part of it. And, when you listen, you hear artists that are kind of underground or up and coming, not necessarily stuff that you would hear maybe on mainstream radio. And it is a really good thing to support that, because they have such an amazing gift and very anointed music. And, when you listen in and when you hear those artists, you can go and listen to their music and support them. And it means a lot to be there for each other and to sow into each other and encourage one another, no matter what your gifting is. So I appreciate all of you. Today on the show, we have Daniel. He is a worship leader. And so welcome him to the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I'm so appreciative that you're here. So how do you say your last name again?
Lindahl. Lindahl. So
Daniel Lindahl.
Yeah, there's a hidden H in there.
Right? It's throwing me off. I'm like, I am going to butcher his name.
That's all right. It's all
right.
good.
So, for the people tuning in, would you mind telling us maybe where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from a town just north of the Twin Cities in Minnesota. So just north of Minneapolis and St. Paul, about 20-something minutes.
Oh, nice.
And I grew up there and
nice.
Been here for most of my life. I lived in Kansas City for a short time, but other than that, I've been in Minnesota. So
Gotcha. Okay, so obviously you're a recording artist. Are you a worship leader as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I lead worship at a church. Actually, I live right on the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota, so I lead in Wisconsin actually.
Oh, cool.
At my church. So
awesome.
Yep.
Well, hopefully this show will get you out there and encourage some people with your music. I heard one of your songs and it just really blessed me. So I wanted to have you on the show. But I also don't know you well. So would you mind sharing with the listeners maybe a little bit of your journey of coming to Christ?
Sure. Yeah. I grew up in a Christian home and I'm really blessed with that. I wouldn't say I really accepted Christ till I was about 17 years old, though. I kind of pushed off I put on the front of loving Jesus, but I kind of pushed back on it. And, I went to a conference with some friends called One Thing in Kansas City, and I heard a speaker, Becky Tirabassi, and she was speaking about, it just kind of read my mail. And what she kind of said, she quoted this Oswald Chambers quote, which was, it's easier to live excessively fanatic than consistently faithful. And it really just convicted me really deeply because my whole life had been these waves of up and down following Jesus for the summer camp high and then kind of just faltering. And so I really felt like it was time to commit fully to the Lord. And so I was 17 when I did that. And that was 2007.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
Really, it was a huge blessing. I remember at the conference, I ran up to the front and had her pray for me. It was just one of those special moments where it was like, God is speaking to me. So
that is so cool. I'm actually really excited to hear that you surrendered your life to the Lord at such a young age. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a Christian home. So I don't know. I relate to people that, maybe have stumbled from their faith and they grew up with it. And, I was the same way when I was a youth, so I can understand that a little bit. So.
Right. That is so cool. So can you share with us a little bit about your music journey and how you got into it? And I don't know, how did you get to start doing this?
Yeah, for sure. So, it's interesting, like talking about being in a Christian home. My mom and her brothers toured the country as musicians way back before I was even born. So there's this history of ministry, like music ministry in my family.
Oh, wow.
There's this group called the Happiness Four, and they they toured the country basically and ministered. And so that was like rooted in me from a young age. I love music, like church music, like always loved worship and just
awesome.
I think I connected with music very early, even when I wasn't saved. Like I was like involved with the music in the church because it just interested me. And I think that's how I connect to the Lord mostly is through music because it just has been in my life since I was born, basically. So
awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
So do you play an instrument or what is it that you do? Do you write the songs or how's that work?
I would say I'm a songwriter. I'm like, I play guitar, I play piano, I play some bass and stuff. But I honestly, like when I went to music school and met people that actually play those instruments, I stopped saying I played them because like those guys were like shredding and I'm just like, I'm okay.
You're keeping it on count with the chords. You're like C 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I'm a songwriter at heart. That's what I'm really passionate about, and that's where that's what I love about. I love songwriting because you don't have to be like you don't have to shred. You just take a few chords and you can write a song, and so
absolutely
that's kind of what I love. So
that's where I'm at with writing music. Now, writing songs, I've done that for years, but musically, I haven't until this last like 6 months, but I've written the music for 3 songs now. And, it is one of them. It was really cool because I was just using the chords I knew how to play and it turned out to be a beautiful song. But then a friend of mine who was actually more on the professional side, he played with me live one time doing worship and he added a bunch of stuff like in between my chord changes and it was so pretty. I was like, well, there you go.
That's what you need. That's kind of my experience too. It's all about, that's what beautiful thing about music is. It's about community and friendships. And I have to just shout out my buddy Nate from Insight Music Production. He produced my last album and then he produced this last song I did, and he really brings it to life. I always say that when I post, just to be clear.
Now is that the same Nate that was at HMP?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Nate played drums on 2 of my songs. He played, because I just released an album. He did the acoustic guitar on the song Abide. And what else did he do? I guess that was it because we used different electric guitar. Yeah, he's awesome. He's amazing. He plays like every instrument and he's talented. And so he just makes it like, I don't know, like bloom into something beautiful. It's awesome.
Yeah,
shout out
to Insight Music Production and his musician pool.
Yes.
I love those guys. So
I know I love them too. But that's awesome. But I didn't know Nate worked on your album, so that's super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
So, all right, the first song we're gonna play is Canvas. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, it's interesting. It's kind of what we were just talking about with like just picking up I guess this is like a love letter to just songwriting and worshiping the Lord. It's basically the picture of a little kid just drawing like I have a niece that's 2, and if she drew me a picture and gave it to me, it would melt my heart, and I just think that's kind of what expression of worship is to the Lord is, we just bring him this thing and it moves his heart. So that's kind of what the song's about.
That is so amazing. I love that. It totally is. And it can be so, and it can flow and be artistic and free, just like a painting would be, because you're just in his presence. And it's like, hey, wherever the Spirit leads and whatever he wants to do in us. And it's just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, all right, here's the song Canvas.
Wonderful. to me. I wanna paint you well. I wanna show the world you are my Father, and I love you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you. This is my beloved Father. You enjoy me, I enjoy you.
All right. That was Canvas. Well, that was a blessing.
Thank you.
Awesome
Yeah,
song.
fun.
Yeah.
It's funny because like we wrote that, or we worked on that. Like it seems like forever ago, but it was just like a year ago or 2 years ago. But it feels
does
like
feel
longer.
forever. Yeah. Totally. Awesome. So tell me about the song Greatest Love. How did that come
Yeah.
about? Because that has a totally different feel than Canvas. Like Canvas
Yeah,
is kind of
for sure.
upbeat and like just really, I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's like happy and you know, and then Greatest Love is more like kind of seems more intimate and just totally different vibe. So tell me how that came to be.
Yeah, this song, Grace Love, it's probably one of the most personal songs I ever wrote. I've been in this really challenging season for a little bit of just asking God for breakthrough in certain things and feeling like you just kind of feel, I don't know, I think the world kind of feels that way. You know, we hit this pandemic, I live right outside the Twin Cities where all this stuff happened with, you know, the murder of George Floyd and stuff. So there's just a lot of hurt going on right now. And I just think like,
wow.
He is our greatest love. And I guess I wrote this song about when I was inspired by Matthew 14, when Peter is going to walk to Jesus on the water. And it's sort of this moment where he's trying to prove his faith, you know, and he fails. He fails because he takes his eyes off Jesus. And I think Jesus in that moment, the first thing he says to Peter, he says, "Why did you doubt?" You know, and I just think there's so much grace in that where, you know, we're dealing, like for myself and for our world, we're all dealing with heavy stuff right now. And I think God is just kind of saying this, like, keep your eyes on me. I'm with you in this. This is what makes Jesus different than any other, is that he's with us in these trials. He's with us in these difficulties. And that's where I get my hope from. And so this song is just about how he is the greatest love. He's the most faithful love, and I believe that, and I'm holding on to that for myself.
Like
right now.
there's no greater love. You know, you mentioned what you just said totally made me think about something. I was leading worship in a few months ago, because that's what I did. I traveled doing worship and preaching and stuff, and so I was in Miami, Florida, and it was just a really interesting trip and just so much going on and just kind of some weird stuff. And I don't know, it ended up amazing. But so I took a minute for myself because I was like helping plan the event, preaching and leading worship, because we had some things happen and some things didn't happen that were supposed to happen. And so it was a lot. And so I was like, okay, you know, but I'm happy to serve him. So I'm like, well, okay, he'll work it out, you know? So I took a minute and I went to the beach and I sat on the beach and I was like, okay, Lord, you know, you've worked it all out. I'm here. Everything's, you know, seems to be in order. And I know this, and this will also work out. You know, I'm just professing faith because I know how he works. He's amazing. He, like you said, he's the greatest love. Like he's faithful and he's there with us through everything. And so I was sitting there, just kind of watching the waves. And then I just had a vision, like I literally saw Jesus walking on the water towards me, and I about fell out. I was like, and the Spirit like washed over me, and I started bawling, and I was like, and he was like, daughter, I still I still walk on water. Like, I'm still here and I'm with you. You know, when you step out, I'm with you. Just like he was telling the apostle, you know, like he told me that very thing, like have faith. I'm here. I'm with you. Like I'm walking on the water with you. And so he was just encouraging me that he was there with me, you know, for the revival and doing his work and stuff. So it was super encouraging. It was exciting.
Awesome.
So yeah. Well, let's listen to your song, Greatest Love. And we might have a little bit of time after. We'll see. So here is his song, Greatest Love.
You're my greatest love. You're my greatest love. With me in the furnace flames. You're my greatest love. Through hills and valleys, death and healing, joy and sorrow, you are my God. Jesus, I hope in your great love, you will lead me through the storm. Jesus, I know you're my great love, you stand with me in the fire. You're my greatest love. You're my greatest love. With me in the fiercest storm. You're my greatest love. You're my greatest love. You're my greatest love. Teaching me faith over fear. You're my greatest love. Jesus, I hope in your great love, you will lead me through the storm. Jesus, I know you're my great love, you stand with me in the fire. You're with me every time. You're present in my trials, in sickness and in health. My life is yours. You're with me every time. You're present in my trials. You're stronger than this storm. My greatest love. In peace and panic, health and sickness, when fear sets in, you're on the throne. I choose to put my faith in you. I choose to place my trust in you. I choose to lay my burdens down. I know that you are with me, God. choose to put my faith in you, only you, God. I choose to place my trust in you, only you. I choose to lay my burdens down. Oh, 'cause I know you are with me, God. Jesus, I hope in your great love you will lead me through the storm. Jesus, I know you're my great love. You stand with me in the fight. You're with me every time. You're present in my tears, in sickness and in health. My life is yours. You're with me every time. You're present in my storms. You're stronger than the storm. My greatest love. My greatest love. You're my greatest love. You're my greatest love. I lean into your strength and grace. Jesus, my great love.
All right, that was Greatest Love. So beautiful and anointed. Ooh. I love it. Okay, where can people find your music?
Yeah, so
Got
the
about a
best
minute left,
place-
so.
Yeah, the best place is my website. It's Daniel Lindahl. So Lindahl is spelled Lindahl.
Okay.
So DanielLindahlMusic.com. That'd be awesome. You can buy my album there.
Okay.
Basically, you can put in whatever price you want. So if you want
Aw.
to just get it for free, go for it. I just wanted
Oh,
to
that
bless
really
people, so-
blesses people. That's what I do with my music. I mean,
Nice.
you know, my worship is always like free, you know, and then I usually like if people want to donate, they can, you know. And then my rock
Yeah.
music is a little different. I sell that out at shows, but if anyone ever wants any, I'm like, here you go, you can have it because freely I
Sure.
receive, so freely I give.
Amen. Yeah, that's how I am too. That's awesome.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Hey, really quick, can you give a shout out to the girl that did the backup vocal on your track real quick? What's her
that's
name?
That's Johanna Romero.
Okay.
So she is a good friend of mine from Kansas City. I haven't talked to her in a while before this, but I was super blessed to have her on the song.
Okay.
And
I just wanted to give her a shout out really quick
Yeah.
because I love her voice and
Yeah.
it's amazing. Okay, thank you for being on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you tune in next week and hear more amazing awesomeness music from amazing godly people. Be blessed.
We hope you've enjoyed hearing Unshaken with Becca V. Tune in every week at this same time for more positive news stories and enlightening interviews, plus music from underground recording artists around your community and the world who are making a positive impact on society. To learn more about Unshaken and Becca V, become a guest, or to support the show, visit facebook.com/Unshaken Show. That's facebook.com/Unshaken Show. This has been Unshaken with Becca V on K-Praise.